too. Oh, good morning, beloveds. He came in the room with me, talking, and is still talking. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. I don't know. He's being very affectionate. And I enjoy it. And you can see his ear. You're so pretty. You should get on camera. Giovanni's in the window. So Dante's in here with me. Which I appreciate because Foster and I used to do this. So it's nice to have somebody come in and spend some time with me while I'm doing this. We did go to the park today, and the grackles are back. And if you do not know what a grackle is, they are a fairly large black bird with long tails. The males have long tails. The females are kind of they don't have the long tails, and they're not that shiny black. They are kind of that dusky brown. But they're kind of the grackles are kind of scary. They're kind of a hive mind, so it's like, and they were straight up stealing peanuts from the squirrels. So it was just like, okay, but and the blue jays weren't quite as snatch and grab, so I may have gotten a couple of decent pictures of the blue jays, and plenty of good squirrel poses. So I always enjoy the park. What are you talking about? Well, come back over here. Okay, we are doing a new design for living. I don't know what he's talking about. So, but let's do the housekeeping really quick. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That'll get you one email a week. Tells you what's going on for the week and the month. And the hot links are hot. So if it says click here now, it means it. It'll take you right to the information or the person that can help you get it. When I said one a week, I meant that. It's a real person doing it. He doesn't have time for more than that. And if you were to get another one, it would be because something unusual happened. And since we live on the Texas Gulf Coast, it's usually weather related. And then it is also a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. Last thing is the social media. Sorry, I'm concerned about what he's doing over here because you could hear a loud crash with him over there. So we didn't wait. The only reason I mentioned the social media, other than the fact that I'm doing this on social media, is we don't monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is go like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on the pages, and then engage with the individual posts by reacting, commenting, sharing. It bumps us in the algorithms, and I mean, let's be honest, that's the whole point of social media, right? More people see your stuff. Dante, come back here. What are you looking for? Come on. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. And I am the running O'Brien on all of the social medias that I am on. So, I think you want something out of the box, but I don't know that there's anything left in the box. Okay, so A New Design for Living is one of the books towards the end of Ernest's career. What I have decided to call it is the process of science of mind. Ernest talks a lot of theory early in his career. Towards the end of his career, he's like, well, let's talk about how to do this. And I think it's really interesting because that's what Jesse's been leaning into, that conversation about the process as well, from the standpoint of when we pray for things, the universe doesn't generally just hand us what we prayed for. What it does is it hands us a process of how to get that. Well, that's what this is. This is the process. And it's also a good time to remind you that science of mind really isn't a religion. What makes us different is we don't teach you what to believe. That's between you and the divine. We teach you how. Because that's what's important. And we're in chapter 10 now. I think it's A New Outlook. And he's been kind of going, I'm getting Emma Curtis Hopkins vibes. Like, when I read Emma, I always feel like Emma either is standing there with her finger in your chest going, this is the way it is. Or she just kind of grabs you by the lapels and goes, this is the way it is. Well, that's kind of the way I feel like this chapter is he's like, look, you know what? Life isn't against you. God isn't against you. You're just not playing by the rules. And you're either not playing by the rules because you don't want to, or you don't know the rules. So let's talk about what the rules are and how you can cooperate with the rules. That's what he's talking about right now. And I think it's such an important conversation to have because frequently we are willfully ignorant of, what the way things work. We see a lot of chaos around us. But if you look at the macro, not the micro, but the macro, up to the universe scale, or the galaxy scale, nature's fairly orderly. There are laws and there are rules and they operate this way. And so Ernest is saying, you know what? We could eliminate a whole lot of the chaos out of our life if we would learn the dang rules. So, he's being real about it. So, and so I'm really enjoying this chapter just from that standpoint of Ernest is just saying, you know what? Here, I'm not playing. This is the way it works. And if you will do this, you'll get better results. So the article today that we have is accept what you want. As for the life we are now living, there is nothing that declares this is the way it must be. Any experience of lack in health, wealth, or happiness is not something we must suffer and endure as our particular lot in life. It is and will be if we accept it as such, but we do not have to accept it. Regardless of how bad things may be for us, how much we might have felt in the past that they were prepared for us to test us and try us, we know this is not the case. Life is joyous, healthy, happy, and abundant. And it will become that for us when we accept it as such. Okay, just so you know, I am completely and totally aware of the fact that we are in relationship. And that is something that you have to understand when he says things like that. We are in relationship. We are in relationship, just on an individual level, but we are in relationship with communities and with systems and things like that. And so sometimes what we have to do is accept our own lives, move on with our own lives, and then change the systems that we live in. So do not think that he does not know this. We are talking right now on a personal level, because if we work on the personal level, then we can make the decisions on the system and community levels and cultural levels. Okay. So don't ever think that he is passing that up and not taking that into account. It's very important that you know that. But the only person that you can change is yourself. So that's where the work starts. We no doubt have had ample demonstration of the fact that we have used the laws of life in a negative manner. Now we are approaching the point where we are going to start using them in a positive way for our greater good. It is just as easy to use the law one way as another. We can spend as much time and effort designing what we don't want as what we do want. It is a case of knowing what good we want and not deviating from the idea or thought that will be creative of that good. I don't know why I was having so much trouble getting that out. And what that reminds me of is I actually had this conversation yesterday at work. So I work in a health food store. I sell vitamins and minerals, and herbs. And one of the things about that industry is consistency is the key. You can't take a fish oil one time and expect it to work. You gotta take the fish oil more often than you don't for it to do what it's doing. Because what you are doing in my industry is you are supporting the body in doing its job. You are providing the nourishment, the nutrients that the body needs to do its job. But you gotta do it consistently. Because the body can't just do it if you do it every now and again. It's like, okay, you need magnesium every day. You need vitamin C every day. And I do thoroughly encourage you to get it through food, but we can't always get enough. Like, I have a wicked magnesium uptake, apparently. Or no, actually, it's my B12. I legit struggle to keep my B12 levels up. So the easiest way for me to do that is a supplement. And I've got to do it consistently. That's what he's talking about here. You got to do it every day. You got to do it every day. Not just once in a while. Every day. No power or force in the universe is going to look over our shoulder and guide our hand, compelling us to design something other than what we want. The idea that anything of this kind is ever done can spring only from old negative patterns of thought, which we have not yet fully dismissed, but which can be done away with. Okay, so now here he's talking about spirit. Spirit is not going to do that. Spirit is not going to encourage you to design a life you don't want, but other people will. So that's one of those things where you want to be careful who you tell your plans to, and make sure that you have surrounded yourself with people who are going to support what is best for you. Not what's best for them, what's best for you. Okay? Be aware of that. Because there are going to be people that are going to look over your shoulder and go, no, you don't want that. And you're like, yes, I do. They may not have your best interest in heart, okay? Or maybe they do have the best interest, your best interest in heart, but they still don't know what's best for you. You do. All right. The sincerest, deepest minds of the ages, without exception, have all known that God is good and that the universe is not divided against itself. They have all known that every person is on the pathway of an endless destiny, forever expanding. They have also understood that, temporarily at least, any of us can obstruct the flow of life itself in and through us by the nature of our thought. The Hindu poet, philosopher, and Nobel Prize winner Rabindranath Tagore beautifully stated this idea in his autobiographical writings. He said, "One unfailing energy can be seen. Its work is evident, but its form is not visible. We seldom give thought to this same innermost mystery that is alive within us. Within me, it is not always found as an easy path for its... No, hang on. Let me go back. Within me, it has not always found an easy path for its journey. It has met with obstacles at every turn. And yet, on the whole, I have known what the nature of his intention has been." Okay, so, and yet, on the whole, I have known what the nature of God's intention has been. Because it was a capital H. So, Tagore. Tagore. I know that I just absolutely... It doesn't help that his first name was hyphened onto a next line. So I'm like, if I could see the whole word, I probably would have done better, but yeah. Within me, it has not always found an easy path for its journey. Within me, it has not always, meaning, like any of us, we get in our own way. we get in our own way. We are frequently getting in our own way. And here's where I'm going to say, and we let other people get in our way too. I remember years and years and years ago saying to my parents, I think I'll go into social work. And both my parents, separately, not even together, separately said, I don't think you'd like that. We'll never know because I didn't do it. So when I went to ministerial school, I was more than halfway through ministerial school before I told anybody that I'd gone to ministerial school. When I say anybody, like obviously my partner knew because I had to tell him. And then Jesse knew, and some of the congregation knew because but like with my family, they knew about 6 months before I invited them to my graduation. I wasn't going to have that conversation again. I wasn't going to let them talk me out of what I wanted. So yeah, so I so resonate with that line. Within me, it has not always found an easy path to its journey because I have gotten in my own way and I have let other people get in my own way. Now, it doesn't happen that often because I'm definitely that girl that when people tell me I can't do something, I'm like, watch me, but that's just me being obstinate, stubborn. But yeah, you never know where life is going to take you. And I think sometimes it's about being willing to take the journey that we didn't even know we were on. So, all right. The title was Accept What You Want. And this chapter is about cooperating with the rules because they're there. And it is one of the reasons why I have always been a big advocate for knowing all the rules. When you know the rules, you know which rules you have to follow, you know which rules you can ignore, you know which rules you can bend, and you know which rules you can break. Willful ignorance doesn't get you anywhere. In fact, it usually knocks you back a few steps. So learn the rules. Learn the rules. Learn learn how to cooperate with the way things work. Because that is how we are able to change the systems and the cultures and the communities that don't. All right. Because they exist, and I am aware of that. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to the process of my day, mostly because I got to give my cat the antibiotic, and she doesn't like it, so I need help. So I got to make sure I do it before the help leaves. All right. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of yourself day, a go to the park day, go for a walk day, go spend some time in nature day, it's going to be in the 80s again today, drink plenty of water day. A learn the rules day, a keep your own counsel day, a do what you got to do day, a cuddle your fur babies day. I'm going to have a catter day. I encourage you to have a catter day. I don't know how you do that for dogs. Dogter day? Catter day just flows better. I just completely distracted myself day, but that's okay because I have nothing I have to do day. And so I hope you have some time like that day. Let me just stop being completely silly day. No, it's Saturday. I get to be completely silly day. A good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. That's my favorite part of that sentence. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are godly. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. As I said, I'm going to go give the cat some medication. I'm going to remind you that Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9. Oh, well, if I get to go to the gym, it'll be 8:45. And if I don't go to the gym, it'll probably be closer to 9:15. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved always.